Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to Vampyre Clan in ClanGen, the Warrior Cats clan generating game. When we left off in the previous episode, we had 3 new vampire fledglings age up in the clan, and we got to see their appearance in a little bit more detail, especially as, we're having slight changes throughout their growth period, and they look really cute. Their personalities turned out quite fascinating, and I loved the pairings they made with their mentors. This time around, guys, we are diving into even more excitement because our light song has had her litter of 2 vampire kittens. I mean, it wasn't a huge litter, but at least it wasn't 1. I can deal with 2. I'm happy with 2. So it is actually Moon 38. We are still in New Leaf. I want to take a look at these kittens. They're adorable. But before we do that, I'm sure they're all snuggled up in the nursery. We need to very quickly check up on the leader's den. So we're still allies with Gosma clan. I'm surprised we've maintained that relationship for this long. And we're hostile with Day clan and Wind clan. Well, let's check out the events. After many moons of tensions between Day Clan and Vampyre Clan, a formal war is declared. Lo and behold, we go to war as soon as we have kittens born. Blue Jay has gotten a stomachache. Light Song and Twilight Fade's eyes meet over their litter of 2 kits, full of love for their growing family. And Hazel Pelt has also gotten a stomachache. Okay, let's take a look at the kittens, guys. Look at this! We have Wolf Kit and Bloom Kit who have joined us. So Wolf Kit over here is a quiet female with pale yellow eyes and a single color pelt, which looks kind of grayish now, but I don't know. I feel like from being newborns to kittens, their coats do change a little bit, so we'll have to see how that looks and whether or not she stays this kind of grayish color. But Wolf Kit, and then we have his sister, Bloom Kit, a sweet female with amber eyes and a tawny pelt. So Bloom Kit actually got the tawny from Light Song, and already from what I can see, she looks like a very interesting tawny. But I like both her and her sister. I can't decide between the 2 kittens who my favorite is going to be. There are times when we start having a lot of patterns, and then I just really like a single color, pelt. But then there are times when we have a lot of single color pelts and I like something a bit more exciting, like the toadies. So I don't know, but I love Bloom Kit's combination. It looks very interesting, I haven't seen. And especially because recently, I went through making all those shorts for the different litters we had. I keep getting surprised by how we don't really have a lot of overlap with the kind of cats that we get. Every cat that's born, it's so different. With Pine Paw, I know Pine Paw looks quite a bit like Quiet Flight, but there was, I think, a cat in Luminous Clan that Pine Paw, in the earlier seasons of Luminous Clan, that Pine Paw kind of looks like. I think the cat's name was Fig Scratch, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if you guys remember Fig Scratch. I think he was the brother to Reed, Daisy, and was it Crocus Fade? I think so. But yeah, there was a cat that kind of had this pale speckling with a greenish tint, but I don't think he had emerald eyes. So again, Pine Paw is unique in that way. And as for descriptors, before we do that, so Wolf Kit had the pale yellow eyes, Bloom Kit had amber and tawny, and then Wolf Kit has a single color pelt. Just really quickly checking up on their parents so we can compare. So Twilight Fade has gold eyes and a smoke pelt, and then Light Song has pale yellow eyes and a tawny pelt. So the amber was a bit unique, and the single color was unique, but Bloom Kid got her mother's tawny, and Wolf Kid got her mother's pale yellow eyes. They apparently didn't inherit anything from their father, Twilight Fade. But okay. In terms of descriptors, Wolf Kit counts as a brown she-cat, and Bloom Kit is a tawny she-cat. Now, with Wolf Kit, like I was saying, it says she's a brown in her descriptor, but she looks kind of grayish, so we'll have to see how she looks when she's 1 moon old. I'm sure her appearance will change a bit more. But I actually love these 2. They look so cute. They look so cute. Okay, I did go ahead and change their names, though, so I'm gonna have to keep that in mind as we read relationships. Let's take a look at the medicine cat then, real quick. Hazelpelt gathered dandelion, moss, horsetail, and mallow this moon. And then let's check out the relationships. Pinepaw points out that Bluejay's fresh kill has gone bad before he eats it. Bluejay and Fawnpaw keep trying to figure out what a bad smell in camp is. Master Burnleaf and Grandmaster Shivering Star talk about what they see in the clouds. Master Burnleaf and Fawnpaw, so Master and Apprentice, or Master and Fledgling, sorry, talk about what they see in the clouds. Twilight Fade warns Sunnytail about something on the ground, so Sunnytail doesn't trip. Twilight Fade and Owlfeather work together to lead a scary bug out of the camp. Grandmaster Shivering Star feels bad that he caused a problem for Hazelpelt. Grandmaster Shivering Star and Ibispaw argue about religion in the middle of camp. Interesting. I wonder if this argument could be about their practice of drinking the blood of non-vampiric kittens and queens, and like how the cats feel about, you know, those victims going to the Dark Forest and the vampires ending up in StarClan. Maybe Ibispaw has been exposed a little bit to some different viewpoints from perhaps the vampire hunters about the way things used to be or how things work for them, and maybe there's a disagreement. Who knows? Lightsong sees Sunnytail put something back where it belongs, and you know, even the idea for vampire hunters that typically in the way they understand their religion, it's the vampires who would be ending up in the Dark Forest, not the cats that are supposed to sustain them in StarClan. Lightsong is fascinated by one of Lightkit's... Oh, this is the one I changed. Bloomkit, okay. Lightsong is fascinated by one of Bloomkit's stories. Whenever Pinepaw's name is mentioned, Quiet Flight relaxes. Quiet Flight and Pinepaw often look at each other and smile knowingly about something. Okay, mother and son, look at that. This is Quiet Flight and her favorite son. Hazelpelt sees... sees Wolfkit, there we go. Wolfkit helped a clanmate get unstuck from some brambles. Hazelpelt nods politely as Pinepaw passes by. Fawnpaw brought Owlfeather some dry bedding. Sunnytail hears Quiet Flight purring during a nap. Sunnytail, okay, Sunnytail. Sunnytail doesn't seem to have a problem with Quiet Flight, but Quiet Flight has a problem with... Is it Sunnytail? I think it's Sunnytail, because Sunnytail's training Pine Poisoning. Pinepaw, she is Wolfkit! Wolfkit up after a small disagreement. Ibispaw thinks Quiet Flight is very polite, so some mother-daughter bonding. But also Quiet Flight is her mentor, so that's good to see. And then Fawnpaw notices that Lightsong has finished all her tasks without issues lately, which is wonderful considering she just gave birth. But okay, that is all we have for events. Let me cut the recording here and we'll continue with the cat list. Okay, let's continue with the cat list. First up, we have loyalties, where nothing has changed with the cats for Shivering Star, so there's nothing to report on that end. Nor do we have anything in relationships that was significant enough for me to take note of. However, I do need to, before I forget, take a look at who the favorite children are for the new parents. So Twilight Fade, he favors Wolfkit, his older quiet daughter, who I think out of the two probably looks the most like him, even though it is a bit of a stretch. But Wolfkit, and then Lightsong over here, she favors, hold on a second, she favors Bloomkit, her sweet younger daughter who looks the most like her out of the two. And looking at the personalities for Wolfkit and Bloomkit, I mean, one's quiet, one's sweet. I feel like Twilight Fade and Lightsong had very gentle kittens. Like, give me the idea of like very gentle kittens. So we'll see whether or not that gentleness lasts as they get older, but that is very, very cute and very, very sweet, and kind of nice that we don't have any like invisible offspring in this particular litter. Sometimes even when we have two kittens, the parents would like one, but no, not the case this time around. And I'm actually really happy that we had girls. So I think we've been having like more boys, I think. So we needed the girls. So there is that. In terms of a new match, Shivering Star is not going to be making a new match until the current fledglings become young adults. because we don't have enough of both genders to make any pairings. So once the younger cats, once the fledglings we currently have become young adults, then Shivering Star is going to make the next match. So he has made that particular announcement to everyone over here. So the fledglings know this, and so do the older cats. Also, for the youngsters, I've gone ahead and added to their notes that they are the carrier of 2 vampiric bloodlines from the 6th and 10th founding vampires. And that pretty much concludes the breeding that we have with our founding vampires. The cats that are now going to breed are going to be all our clan-born cats, not the founding ones. And one of you lovelies, I think Vonell, was pointing out that in Luminous Clan, when we started having those really big litters, because age is a factor, it was between the clan-born cats, like the 2nd generation of cats that were breeding, because they were all quite young, they were close in age. So hopefully that is the case, and hopefully we do get like the bigger litters as we start making those clan-born pairings. But okay, let us check out what everyone's doing for the day, since we don't have any whispers to work with and nothing else to take a look at. Grandmaster Shivering Star is padding back and forth across the camp. Master Burnleaf wants to go on a patrol. Hazel Pelt is thinking about how awful kitty pet food must taste. Twilight Fade is negotiating with a kitty pet to make use of the herbs in their 2-leg garden. Blue Jay is a little exhausted from how many cats come to find her for things. Quiet Flight is feeling restless. Light Song wants to compliment Owl Feather's fighting techniques. Sunnytail wants to train. Nice. I wonder if his apprentice is actually influencing him to train, because I can see Pineapple being obsessed with training. Owlfeather is looking forward to finding more prey as the snow melts. Pinepaw is craving the taste of mouse. Ibispaw brags about her latest exploits to any cat that will listen. Fawnpaw is feeling anxious. Wolfkit snuggles up to the belly of Lightsong, and Bloomkit snuggles up to the belly of Lightsong. So wonderful, we have that done, and we need to check up on the fledglings and their ranking. So let's actually really quickly do that. So, I suppose I'm not that surprised that Pinepaw is currently on top, because like I said, I would think that he'd be obsessed with training. So he is currently at the top with 9 experience. Oh wait, Fawnpaw is tied at 9. Oh, and Ibispaw has 6. Wait. Look at that. So Pinepaw, so the brothers are actually tied, and to think I almost thought we were going to lose our brothers in the last episode with that ambush we had during patrols. But the brothers seem to be quite talented, because they are both tied at 9, first place currently, and Ibispaw is lagging a bit behind. Okay. So, Quiet Flight, you have nothing to worry about with Sunnytail, because your favorite child, your son Pinepaw, he's actually doing really, really well. Which was, I think, not always the case for Firepaw. Actually, I think she started off on a strong foot and then she started falling behind. But anyways, that is really, really good to see. Hopefully Burnleaf, Burnleaf is training Fawnpaw. So, no surprise there, he did produce the Lost Princess. But yeah, hopefully Quiet Flight feels a little bit better about Sunnytail now and might not be as judgmental, because I don't think we want a repeat of that situation with Burnleaf and Lightsong. Okay, so now that I have wrapped that up, let us cut the recording here and continue with patrols. Okay, let's resume with our patrols. We currently have 56 prey and we need 29.5, so we don't have to worry about food or anything this time around. We'll send out Hazelpelt, the Nightstalker, first off to see what he can get. Hazelpelt notices that the moss in the medicine cat den is getting old. He needs to go and gather some more. Proceed. Hazelpelt quickly makes his way to the best moss patch he knows. He spends a bit of time slicing bits off with his claws, careful not to get any roots or dirt in the pile. Once he's satisfied, he takes a moment to wrap his jaws around the heap, then make his way back to camp. So moss was gathered, and then we're going to have a patrol of 6 and a patrol of 3. So let's see if anyone might get an advantage this time. If one of the boys manage to go on a smaller patrol, they'll get a leg up on the other one. If Ibispaw gets to go on a smaller patrol, she might actually be able to catch up to her brothers. Oh, okay. Okay, it seems as though the brothers are going to stay neck and neck. So Quiet Flay has decided to stick very close to her daughter Ibispaw and train her personally, whereas Burnleaf and Sunnytail have taken a different approach. They are sending their 2 apprentices out to observe, like be responsible for themselves and observe Owlfeather to see how, like what she does. So we'll kind of see what they're able to learn from her. But on this bigger patrol, we also have Blue Jay and Grandmaster Shivering Star. So let's see what they get up to. Grandmaster Shivering Star heads out with a group of his clanmates to go train. Proceed. It's not that they do anything remarkable together, but that's not the point. Instead, the purpose of this training is to get out of camp and amongst his clanmates, and it's important for Grandmaster Shivering Star to do so as often as possible. Okay, so he was trying to bond with the cats within the clan and patrol, but nobody really stood out this time around. However, it might have been good for Ibispaw within a safe situation to get some training done, and I think this is definitely what Hazel Pelt, like this is the kind of training that Hazel Pelt would have wanted for his daughter. And now we have Fawnpaw, Pinepaw, and Owlfeather, so let's see what they get up to. Touring through the territory, Owlfeather spots a thrush and begins to quiz the apprentices, the fledglings, on what the best strategy is for catching it. Proceed. Fawnpaw rolls his eyes and asks why he can't just try catching it. Irritably, Owlfeather replies that he's welcome to try, and the bird spots Fawnpaw coming immediately, also spoiling Pinepaw's chances. Fawnpaw's a bit childish, whereas Pinepaw's bloodthirsty, so I could kind of see why maybe they would have a little bit of difficulty training together, because one, I think, takes things very seriously and one doesn't at all. But at least I think they would have still gotten a bunch of experience from that. Pinepaw has 12, so does Fawnpaw, and Ibispaw has 7, so yeah, the brothers are still currently tied. Kind of lucky that their mentors decided that for them, but they're still neck and neck. So I'm really curious next time around to see like who manages to get ahead of the other. But Ibispaw might surprise us completely and like, take off. She might surpass both her brothers. But okay, with that said and done, guys, I am going to wrap up here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.